What did I know about Martin Luther King before Selma? You challenged me to recall a little bit. I'm not sure that I knew a great deal about him before Selma. I'm quite sure that we had met, but I'm not sure at the moment whether we had met more than once or twice. I think that Selma might have been, up to that point, was my closest contact with him. We were together many times after that in this country and at the second Parchment Terrace conference in Geneva and upon various occasions. But I think that must have been my closest contact with him up to that point. I think I knew plenty about him, not plenty, never plenty about him, but I think I knew a good deal about him up to that point. And when his telegram came appealing to us to respond, it wasn't novel to me by any means, either with respect to the cause or with respect to him personally. I guess that's the best recollection I can give you with regard to my acquaintance with him at that time. Actually, I should say that although I didn't know it, he attended my church in Boston quite a number of times when I was preaching there, and he was a student at the Boston University School of Theology. I didn't realize who he was then, of course, sorry to say. I would have put him in the pulpit and sat in the pew. Well, I actually don't know when my first meeting, I don't know now, when my first meeting with Martin Luther King came. I do remember being enormously impressed by him, and that was some time before Selma. A couple of times, I'm sorry to say I can't pinpoint it, but in the earliest period, of course, I admired him enormously. I admired him from start to finish for the depth of his convictions and for his almost stubbornness in defending those convictions. Allow me to go tangentially a little, but it wasn't tangentially for him to speak of Vietnam, because so much pressure was put on him to confine himself to the civil rights movement. But I admired him immeasurably for his following his convictions wherever they went. And he was just as important, well, I can't say just as important, but almost as important in the peace movement, therefore, as he was in the civil rights movement. I think that perhaps it was not until the Washington March that I felt really well acquainted with him. His I Have a Dream speech, although after that, and especially when he addressed a Continental Assembly that we had in Hollywood, Florida, and we had the opportunity to entertain him and his wife afterward in our apartment, that I felt more intimately acquainted with him. But from start to finish, with the utmost unqualified admiration.
You've given me your impression.
Plus, he influenced me before I knew him, because I knew about him, and I will say that he always influenced me. That's an understatement. Later, he influenced me most profoundly. I regarded him with great awe. We were together rather intimately a number of times, but I'll say as far back as Parchment Terrace 2 in Geneva, it was with some hesitation that I suggested a few things to him. He wasn't received by the statesmen, politicians, they thought they were statesmen, at Parchment Terrace in Geneva, anywhere nearly the way he ought to have been received as a top American, if not the top American at that time. Later, everybody recognized his stature, his quality. But again and again, he was not given, from my point of view, by the rank and file or by the leadership of the country, much of it, the respect or actual reverence that he should have had. I think I hadn't known him very long, but I certainly had the highest regard for him, or received inspiration from him. We
We just ran out.
yeah, just ran out. All right.
Set up.